Hi, I'm the Midnight Stitcher. Come stitch with me, and let's talk about, for today, how about our engine kitties? This is quite the tale. So, we moved to Yellowhead County in Alberta in 2022, during which we eventually found 3 kittens in the garage of our new home. So, the garage is like a 2-car garage building detached from the house. It's actually across the driveway from the house. This house is an acreage surrounded by some farms. And this is like a 2-car garage building, but it has no doors. So, like, where the cars go in is just hollow and there's no doors or anything installed. Because of this, anything can come in and out of that garage. Obviously, we don't store valuables or anything in it. Well, I mean, my dad has tools, but we don't store like super valuables. But because it's open, and we were moving at the time, so there's a lot of boxes moving in and out. There was stuff. There was furniture with moving blankets still on them because we're an 8-person household, and that's a lot of stuff to move, right? That's not, especially moving provinces, that's not the kind of move that happens in a couple of days or even a couple of weeks. We're still unpacking, and we've been here for 2 years now. Anyways, we moved here with 3 senior cats. My grumpy girl Cohen, our single gent fish stick, and Shadow. And we were quite happy with that allotment of cats. However, we swiftly discovered that there was a gray kitten hanging out inside the garage. Well, we're surrounded by farms, and barn cats have kittens sometimes, and those kittens might not stick around where their parents do. So we decided to trap the cat and then see about rehoming it or giving it up. I do need to stress that while we lived rather rurally in like Iraq before this, that was only for about a year and a half. Before that, we lived in Abbotsford, BC, which is a large city with multiple pet shelters around it and in the surrounding cities. It's not that hard to rehome a kitten. Kittens go fast, right? We didn't think that we would have similar difficulties here, so we set out food and water and we trapped the kittens. It turned out to be 3 kittens, a long-haired, fluffy girl, a short-haired gray girl, and a short-haired black girl. So, my parents have been trying to capture this feral kitten that's been sleeping in their vehicle engines for a while. They successfully captured the feral kitten. And my dad was like, oh, it's just 1 kitten. We can totally add it to the household, even though we already have 3 cats and 2 of them are very territorial. My mom was like, probably gonna wind up dead. Yeah, okay. Here's the problem. 1 kitten, 2 kitten, 3 kitten. So that's more than 1 kitten. Not too sure what we're gonna do with these. Here's a better picture, or sorry, video of the 2 of the kittens eating. That's my cat's food, which is just Im's hairball and weight control. We're about to switch them over to kitten food. We had to go out and buy it. I mean, we don't have any kittens in the house. We got them some toys. The other kitten is right here. He's very shy, so I'm not going to get any closer. They are kind of litter box trained, which is interesting for cats who are hanging out and living inside the inside of a car engine. And they are relatively all right with being touched. Except for him, he's shy. Yeah. That were named Fafa, Smoke, and Spice. We named Spice because we know that there was a fluffy black cat on the property that we assumed was a neighbor's barn cat that we thought might be their mom.
This is the cat in question, who is called Pumpkin.
So we took care of those kittens for several weeks, taking them to the vet 2 times for shots and deworming. My dad originally wanted to keep them all as barn cats, but I was rather fed up with taking care of them.
Just tonight. Okay, so I normally have three sets of blankets on my bed. Four if you count the cat blanket, one of which is currently curled up in that basket thing right now. 3 sets of blankets. They peed through all three of those. They peed through my spare blanket. And then they have peed through the sheets to the point where I had to flip the whole mattress. I don't mean that in they peed like one time and it made a giant mess. I mean that every single time I have removed a blanket, moved it into the laundry room, double checked my bed, tried to go back to sleep. I have been trying to sleep since 3 in the morning. It is now 7 a.m. I'm tired.
How to say this politely? I am a senior cat person. I like senior and mellow cats, despite having owned my cat since she was a kitten. And because she's a senior cat, unfortunately, when she eventually passes and I stop my grieving and I'm ready for a new cat, I would look into collecting another senior from like a shelter. I wouldn't want to go buy a kitten.
This is my grumpy old girl. Her name is Cohen. She's about 12 years old, and she owns my soul because I sold it to her in a contract.
I am just a senior cat person, right? So originally, my little sister Boo Boo, that's a nickname I'm trying not to name my family members on YouTube publicly without their permission. So Boo Boo, who would have been 12 at the time, 12 or 13, had collected these cats and had them in her room, but they would not stop peeing on the bed, so they were eventually moved into my room.
Okay, team. This is literally the last spare blanket in the house. It's the dog's blanket, actually, off the couch, which is great. Delicious. And my last pair of sheets. In fact, the last pair of double-sized sheets hanging around in the house. Grandma's doing laundry right now. Don't up for me. I haven't slept in over 24 hours. I'm gonna take a nap. If I wake up and you have peed on the bed for a 5th time tonight, I am literally going to lock you guys in the bathroom with food, water, and a litter box so I can sleep. Okay? Do we have an accord? What are you pouring for?
Where they became my hassle and peed all over my bed. Which, as I was working full time at the time, wasn't a pleasant experience for me to keep getting woken up by this. Regardless, we took care of them.
So we took the 3 engine kitties to the vet today to get their first round of shots and some dewormer. I originally, in my best attempt at guessing, assumed that the 2 gray ones were boys and the black one was the girl. However, it turns out that all 3 cats are ladies. So there's that.
Can I have that back, ma'am? Thank you. So yeah, all 3 of them are girls, and they're good to go. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to think I have the wrong kind of brush for this kind of cat, though. I've never had one this fluffy. She had to have her butt shaved because she keeps getting poop stuck on it. They have received their first round of shots and some dewormer. And the vet's best guess is that they are under 3 months old because of something to do with some of their teeth not having fallen out yet. We saw them through their initial, like, shots and deworming, and I think we wound up keeping them for 2, maybe 3 months. Then my parents decided that they wanted to keep the gray fluffy cat, who my sister had named Fafa, and that we would be putting the other 2 cats, who were pair bonded and couldn't really be separated, up for adoption. We couldn't find like an open shelter adoption agency in our nearest city of Edson, so we wound up driving them to Edmonton and paying a sum. I don't remember how much it was. We wound up paying to like hand them over to that humane society. and we sent them with like a bunch of food and stuff and some toys. We did take our kennel back because we have other animals and kennels are expensive. But we dropped them off with that Humane Society, and I believe that as they were kittens and they'd already had like their vet checklist and everything, which we had handed over, they did wind up getting adopted quite quickly. And we kept Fafa.
Okay, ignore my heater, which you can probably hear. This terrible little monstrosity. This is one of the engine kittens. This is Fafa. She's the fluffy gray kitten. And this is her first time being in. Please do not start staring out the window. I've been listening to horror movies all night, or like horror stories. I cannot. Anyways, this is her first time being out while I'm knitting, because this is my first time knitting since we moved to the new house. I have been working on cross stitching, and she has chewed through my f***ing yarn. This entire section, she did all of this, like this entire section is just covered in saliva. It's disgusting. I'm gonna have to cut it off. She did all of that in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes while I was like just focusing on what I was doing. So, the worst part is because they're getting in through the hole in my wall. That's where the radiator runs between my room and my brother's room, which we can't block off because you can't have stuff too close to the like little radiator thing. And because she's still small enough to climb through there, I can't even keep her out of my bedroom. So yeah, I am gonna have to figure out or finagle some way. I'm probably gonna have to reball this yarn and do the Ziploc bag method, which is where I sit my yarn in a big bag of Ziploc bag and like seal it partially closed. I get it. I kind of understand. I know why, despite having never interacted with yarn, seen any of the other cats going after my yarn, why she's doing it. It's because the way the yarn moves when I pull and tug on it triggers their prey drive. It looks like, I don't know, a rat tail or something. I can understand that. I can forgive that. It'd be nice to have a hobby that the cats weren't trying to eat every once in a while, you know?
So that was the Engine Kitties Generation 1. Generation 1.5 was when we captured Pumpkin. And by captured, I mean we were trying to catch a fox that lives on the property to just relocate it to the other side of the property because we got ducks and we didn't want the fox by the ducks. So we were trying to catch a fox and we instead caught the fluffy black cat, Pumpkin. Well, she wasn't like collared and was quite feral and unhappy to be handled. So it became quite clear to us that if she was someone's barn cat, she was a hands-off barn cat. But as we'd been seeing her around our property for the entirety of fall, and we were well into winter at this point, we decided to bring her inside for the winter. If she was someone's barn cat, they would post locally that they were missing her or something, right? Nobody ever did, and Pumpkin, much like Fafa, remains a part of our household, putting us at 5 cats, which is more cats than expected. So Pumpkin is like very feral, a mouser. She's the only cat that still goes outside around here because she becomes distressed and violent when left inside. So we let her in and out at her will. She does have a tracking collar on her. She actually has two. One that Bluetooths to your phone and another one that like uses an app and is better for longer distances. So yeah, we use those to track her down when we need to, and she's happy to come in at night and boof around during the day, except when the weather's really bad. She stays inside during the really cold snaps and stuff in winter. But Pumpkin was not the Engine Kitty's mom. In fact, it was theorized by our vet, who, I don't know, can somehow tell that she never had kids when we brought her in to be fixed. It was theorized by our vet that she was probably an older sister, and that Pumpkin was less than a year old when we brought her in, because apparently cats less than a year old can like go into heat. That's totally normal, which I didn't know. But we are gonna get an up-close lesson on very quickly. So that was the fall of 2022. Well, in the summer of 2023, Yellowhead County in Edson caught on fire and was evacuated. I believe our section was evacuated 3 times. Now, the first 2 times we evacuated all the way to BC. We stayed in Alberta the 3rd time. In fact, we just booted off to the other side of Edmonton. But originally, we evacuated to an acquaintance in BC and stayed there for some time. I work from home, but my job office is in BC, so I was able to go in person. It was exciting to see people. And yeah, so we evacuated with the cats. However, during the evacuations and stuff like that, and all the hullabaloo, there's a lot of things being moved in and out of the house, right? Because things were packed in trailers and stuff like that for when we did have to evacuate. One day after we'd come home from an evacuation, my dad was going back to work. While stuff was still being moved around and things like that, he wound up leaving the door open in the morning a bit too long, and Fafa, one of the original engine kitties, escaped. She was missing for, I believe, 3.5 months, during which we had to have the very awkward, yeah, the cat's probably dead conversation with Jellybean, who's my youngest sibling. I believe she would have been 9 at the time. This was a problem because Fafa was, in her opinion, her cat, and she was very emotional about it. Luckily, as most 9-year-olds do, she swiftly moved on to adopting Pumpkin as her cat, and in fact still refers to Pumpkin as her cat to this day. We went to the mailbox at the end of the street and put up signs about a missing cat. However, they were removed because we're not allowed to put signs on the mailboxes. Luckily, though, the community member who removed them was very kind, and they got a little wooden stake and they nailed our missing cat poster to the stake and put it beside the mailbox, which was good enough for Canada Post. And those remained up for pretty much the 3.5 months that she was missing. We did see a darker gray colored fluffy cat wandering around a couple times, but they were very skittish and we were never able to capture them. Until one day when Pumpkin was out and about, we heard a cat fight. And so Boo Boo, my sister, the 12-year-old, or I think she was 13 at this point, yeah, went running outside and collected Pumpkin and Fafa. And we were just so excited to have Fafa back, even though Pumpkin tried to eat her, that we just brought her into the house. We quarantined her for 1.5 days in the bathroom, with the intention of taking her to the vet to double check, because she'd had shots, but you can still pick stuff up when you're out in the wild, just for safety. Any animal we collect gets quarantined for a bit. I actually had bath night that night, so I was laying in the bathtub, and Fafa was so excited to be back in the house that she climbed over the edge of the bath onto my chest, quite painfully, and laid on my chest with her tail in the water, purring excitedly and snuggling with me, while I was just trying to wash the conditioner out of my hair. So, glad she was home, but get off me, please. This hurts, Yeah, Fafa came back surprisingly round. The kittens had been too young to be fixed when we gave the other two up, and Fafa had not had her spay appointment at the point in time when she went missing. And we did not really think about how very rattan she was. We were just like, oh, maybe she was eating with one of the other barn cats. She put on some weight. Oh well. Except she kept getting rounder. After about a week, we did have time to take her to the vet to double check if she was injured or anything like that. I mean, we did our own checkup, but it's a drive into town to do that, right? So we had to wait till someone was off work and could dedicate a day into that. The vet politely informed us that our Fafa had a gentleman collar while she was out and about, and was expecting many Fafas. Which was a little concerning, because I think at this point she was at max, 7 months old, but apparently cats can do that. So our little child bride had 5.5 kittens. She had 5 alive kittens and 1 dead kitten, which the vet informed us was not unusual. We laid out 3 separate boxes with blankets in them and showed her these boxes so she could have nice hidey spaces where she could go have her kittens. And I mean, we sealed these boxes up, put them on their side, cut a little hole in them, and put a blanket inside. So little caves, because that's what the internet said to do. I don't know, we'd always spayed all of our animals. We don't breed them or anything like that. No, she decided to have her kittens under my brother's computer desk on the cold concrete basement floor. And she was 3 kittens down by the time anybody found her, because it was 9 at night. And it was only because my younger siblings had talked my dad into playing a round of hide and seek before bed, that she got found, which is good because otherwise the kittens would have frozen to death. We had to run them under warm water in the laundry washroom sink, and unfortunately, one of them didn't survive when we wound up burying him in the garden. We did as much as we could to heat him back up, but unlike his siblings, he never started moving again. He wasn't drawing any breath, and he was completely cold. So after about an hour of trying to warm him up and get him moving again, my stepdad declared he's dead, right? The rest of us were caring for the 5 surviving kittens and Fafa, who was not going through the best time because she was then forcibly relocated into a laundry basket with a blanket inside of it, and her and the kittens were carried upstairs as she was deemed too irresponsible to pick where she was nesting and locked in my grandmother's bedroom for the length of her nursing. So the kittens lived originally in a large laundry basket in my grandmother's bedroom in her closet, tucked away so that Fafa could have her little birthing cave and feel pleased with that, and also so that Fafa could not escape her kittens and neglect them any more than having them on the cold concrete floor.
I've inputted 2 pictures of the bean babies right here. They were taken on September 10th in their bean stage.
All 5 of those kittens successfully survived. She had 2 gray and 3 black kittens.
It was 3 gray and 2 black. I'm misremembering.
I believe I have videos for 4 of the kittens. 3 or 4. I'll track and see like what I do have available, and I'll input videos and stuff in. I know I have some photos of them.
They have this entire baby jail, which at this point they're all physically capable of escaping from, to hang out in. And they decided the intelligent thing to do, all 5 of them, 5, 2 black and 3 gray, is to sleep on the smallest part of the kitty climber. And their mama has just run away. Ma'am, don't leave me with your children. I found her. She's upstairs, avoiding her children.
You trying to make me co-parent? Trying to make me co-parent? So, this is Fettuccine. We believe she's a girl, although they haven't been professionally sexed yet. She's very fluffy, like her mom. Quite active. She likes to climb things. She likes to climb people wearing pants and chew on socks. She's one of the bigger kittens. The biggest gray kitten.
Make sure you're not getting my head in there.
I'm not getting your head. Will you stop rotating the kitten so fast? Anyway, so this is Fettuccine. Ma'am, you're biting my foot. Put him right here.
Okay.
So this boy is Hot Mustard. Sorry, we gotta hold him or he'll run away. Hot Mustard is a loner who likes to wander off and be by himself. He is other cat and dog friendly. He just prefers to hang out by himself.
And also, he thinks your finger will give him food.
All the kittens like chewing on fingers. That's just like a kitten thing.
Oh.
Hot Mustard will sleep with you. I've woken up with him curled up in like the hollow of my shoulder several times. And just kind of hang out places. Very friendly. We believe he's a boy, but once again, we haven't gotten them professionally sexed.
Could you not?
And he is quite fluffy. And he's pretty much all black. I think, is Hot Mustard the one with the white patch under his chin? Will you?
Sure.
I can't get a good...
Here, I'll hold him.
Is there a white patch under his chin? No, Hot Mustard is the all black one.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, very fluffy, adventurous, comfortable climbing,
And
just
goodbye.
prefers to be a loner.
And likes water.
He likes dogs, if that matters. He hangs out with ours all the time. He likes to snuggle on Jack, who's our, like, German Shepherd Mastiff cross.
Yep.
This is Marinara. Sorry, we have to hold on to him or he'll escape. Once again, none of these have been professionally sexed. So, Marinara is a fluffy black kitten with a little bit of lighter color under right here. Marinara is not afraid of dogs or ferrets, likes hanging out with other cats.
Marinara is adventurous and likes to explore, enjoys climbing, enjoys chewing on things, hanging out under beds, and then attacking your feet. And really likes like glittery plastic balls with bells in them.
And he really likes attention.
No, Marinara's biting you because you're holding. Put him down.
But he'll
You can put him down now. It's fine.
Alright.
There he goes. Do. Hey, man. Where you going? So yes, this is Marinara. This is, the black kittens are pretty much the same size and the same fluffiness.
No, hot mustard's fluffier.
Oh, Mom says hot mustard is fluffier than Marinara.
That's weird.
They were adorable. We wound up having marinara, lasagna, fettuccine, spaghetti, and hot mustard. I started naming a kitten marinara because I work at a pizza place. My sister stepped in with fettuccine, which I was like, sure, that we'll keep it going. We named one noodles, but they were eventually renamed spaghetti for some reason. And then I completely lost where I was. Oh, lasagna, right. So after Noodles was named, the next child, or the next kitten named, was Lasagna. And then my littlest sister, Jelly Bean, stepped in and declared that she wanted to name a kitten. And instead of sticking with our pizza/pasta collection, she named one Hot Mustard. So that's how they got their food-related names. We cared for the kittens for a while, but did eventually adopt them out. My mom knows someone who rescues cats down in Airdrie, and she spoke with their cat rescue, and they were fixed. And Fafa was fixed at the same time, which she did not enjoy being coned. So the kittens were fixed, and then they were adopted out. One kitten, I think it was Spaghetti, went to a co-worker's wife of my dad. Two more kittens went to another co-worker or friend of a co-worker's of my dad, so they're kind of around here somewhere locally. And then the last two kittens, which are Hot Mustard and Fettuccine, were shipped off to my mom's friends who had recently lost some cats and wanted new ones. Hot Mustard has since been nicknamed, I believe, Mac. And they have grown quite large, and they are, as far as I can tell, happy. My parents are the ones who keep up with that, not me. So yeah, that is the saga of our Engine Kitties 1.0, our 3 originals, Pumpkin 1.5, or I guess 0.5, because she is the eldest, and then the 5 and stillborn 6th of Engine Kitties 2.0. Now all of the animals in the house are fixed, and we don't have to worry about any more, which, is a pleasure because we're at 2 dogs, 5 cats, and 2 ferrets. We have Jack and Lacey for our dogs, who we moved from BC with.
This is Jack having dug a hole and eaten a bunch of tree roots this summer. Just doing his thing. Yeah, trying to eat trees. And this here is Lacey the winter before. Enjoying her first Alberta winter. Lacey loves the winter because she likes to eat snow.
We have my Cohen, Fish Stick, and Shadow, and then we have Pumpkin and Fafa for our cats.
This is our only male cat, Fish Stick. He has a thyroid disorder and is on pills. He hates them. This video was taken before Fafa's escape and subsequent pregnancy. It shows Cohen being grumpy because there are other cats in her bedroom, Fafa hiding in the corner even though she can go out of my bedroom in the hole in the wall behind the dresser, and Pumpkin, who at that point had become much more domesticated, allowing me to pet her in one of the rare instances where she does that. And took in a couple minutes later, after I'd shooed the other cats out, here's Cohen being angry that Shadow is now invading her bedroom. Shadow does not care because she is grumpy and much larger than all the other cats in the house, so she will come in and invade Cohen's bedroom and eat all of Cohen's food.
And then we have Pei and Sersha, I believe, are my sister's ferrets. So yeah, we have a lot of animals, and we have like 8 ducks, but like those are livestock. It's a little different. I don't think any of the ducks have names. They're just the ducks. And a fridge full of duck eggs. I have so many duck eggs. Do any of you want duck eggs? I'm running out of things to do with the duck eggs. Anyways, yeah. So, if anybody's watching this, in the comments, why don't you tell me about your pets and how you got them? I'd love to hear. Bye!